Sutures of the skull. First suture we're going to go over is the coronal suture. Okay? Goes side to side, right here, separates the yellow and the green. You have the sagittal suture, which is a little harder to see, but it goes right through the sagittal line. Sagittal suture. On the back side, we have the lambdoid suture. This might help you remember the lambdoid suture. Okay. You have the squamosal suture, which separates the purple and the yellow. The squamosal suture. And one other suture that we're going to talk about is the metopic suture. Okay, and that's going to be in between the frontal bones and disappears at birth. Okay, so we're going to go over bones and structures. So the first thing we have is this green part right here. It is the frontal bone. Okay, frontal bone. You have the yellow orangish color right here is the parietals. Okay, you have two on each side, parietal, parietal. You have the temporal bone, which is the purple part. Okay, and you also have the occipital bone, which is this orange part back here. Okay, you have the zygomatic, okay, which is the blue, and the ridge right here is called the zygomatic arch. It's made up of both the temporal and the zygomatic bone. You have the nasal bone, which is the white part right here. You have the maxilla, which is the orange, beige color, I guess. I don't know what color that would really be. It's this color right here. Okay. You have the lacrimal, which is the green part, the dark green part. You have the ethmoid bone, which is the red part. Okay. You have the palatine bone, which is right here. You have the sphenoid bone, okay, which is all of this yellow on this side, okay, and it is also on this underside too here. You have the medial and lateral pterygoids. Okay, so we're going to go over the pterygoids. They're on the sphenoid plate, okay, so that's the same as these under here. So the lateral pterygoid plate, okay, and these are where the lateral pterygoid muscle sits. So lateral pterygoids insert onto here, and the medial pterygoids insert onto here on the medial pterygoid plate. You have the vomer, which is the orange part right here. You have the nasal conchus, okay, so you have the inferior, which is this blue portion. You have the middle, which is the red portion, and the superior is not able to be seen on this model. Okay. You have the ethmoid bone, which is the same one as this under here, but it continues. We have a couple structures in here. We have the crista galli, okay, which is the raised projection right here. The cribriform plate is the depressions, so right underneath here. Okay. You have the hypophysiofossa, which is essentially the saddle right here, and then the back of the saddle is the sella turcica. Okay. You have the greater wings, which is the bigger portion. It's on the bottom part, and the lesser wings are on the top part. Styloid process, mastoid process, the mastoid process, the styloid process. You have the temporomandibular joint, which would sit right here, so if a jaw came in, it would sit right there. And one of the last things we have is the brachmatic fontanelle. It's usually called the soft spot on a baby.